There's important news tonight for parents of children diagnosed with ADHD. A new study found that kids who receive behavioral therapy before medication fared much better in their development. As NBC's Kristen Dahlgren tells us, doctors say this could mean big changes for the way ADHD is treated in this country.
What do you want to say?
We made a beautiful baby.
From the beginning, 6-year-old Christian Siclari had energy to spare.
He was almost like a whirlwind.
Which wasn't easy on parents Laura and Adolfo.
It was always yelling at him yelling at us yelling at each other.
When it started causing serious problems in school,
expelled from kindergarten?
Yes.
Christian was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, usually treated first with medication.
I really felt like it was no way I was going to put my son on medication.
His therapist recommended starting with behavioral therapy.
Instead of always focused on, stop Christian, stop doing that, you're looking for him to catch him being good.
A new approach meant for pre- and elementary school-age children includes praising the child for things like being polite, following directions, and controlling their body.
High five.
Maybe dozens of times an hour.
Good job.
It was pretty much life-changing.
Do you like school or no?
Yeah. New research agrees. In a study that's the first to show the order of treatment matters. Children who began with behavioral modification did significantly better than those who started first on medication.
You'll see a real quick turnaround in the climate of the relationship between the parents and the child.
Which leaves behind the purely biological symptoms of ADHD. After a few months, Christian's family did add medication. His teacher says the combo has been remarkable.
Since he started this, he has moved up 3 reading levels. He's made tremendous progress.
Success for a family that once saw that as a long shot. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News, Paramus.
Well, it's one thing to talk about the relationships in your family, but I think what might make this a little bit more clear is to have you guys reenact a scenario that typically has happened in your family, an argument that's happened per se, and this will kind of help me see the family dynamics at work. So, Ben, what's something that's happened lately, or an argument perhaps that you've had with a family member?
The other night, I got home from my buddy Paul's place. It wasn't late. It was like 2:30, 3 in the morning. Park in the driveway, leave a little room so someone in the garage can get out. If they can't, I always leave my keys right by the front door. Come in, go to bed, wake up the next morning like 6:30. Heather's there pounding on my door, yelling at me to move my car. Okay. I say, move it yourself. The keys are right there by the door. No. Okay. No. She makes me get up.
Okay, so why don't I stop this right here, and I actually want you two, Heather, Ben, to reenact that fight for me. Okay. Why don't I have you guys start from the point where you were pounding on his door, he woke up, and that's where the conversation started. Okay. Well, you said...
Move it yourself.
Okay, move it yourself. Go.
I said, no, I have to be at school. It's not my responsibility to move your car.
I just got in bed. I mean, I just yell, move it yourself.
Whose fault is that you decided to go to bed at 6
Ben,
a.m.?
I'm tired of you coming home so freaking late at night. Your sister has to get up to go to class in the morning.
I sleep later, I work later, I stay out later. I still have a job.
All
I still
hours
get
of the
things
night,
done.
all over town. We don't know where you are.
So, Don, what if I were to tell you that I'm going to give you permission to not get involved in these arguments? I'm going to give you permission to be a parent. Remember we did our genogram, right? Mm-hmm. We had the parents at one level of the hierarchy, and we had the kids at the lower level of the hierarchy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you out of the role of having to get in the middle of their argument, and I'm going to have you stand back and be a parent.
In this video, we will talk about how, when we become upset, it is not the events taking place in our lives that upset us, but it is our beliefs that cause us to become depressed, anxious, sad, and so on. To illustrate this, we will be using a simple ABC model developed by Dr. Albert Ellis. In this model, A refers to activating event, which means whatever it is that started things off, a situation, another person's behavior, or our own thoughts about something which has happened. B refers to our beliefs. These beliefs can be about ourselves, others, things, or situations, These beliefs can be specific or generalized. And C, which refers to the consequence, that is our reaction to A in terms of both emotions and behaviors. In order to understand this, let us take an example of two boys who have to make individual presentations in front of the same group. This is the first presentation that either of them have ever made in their lives, and both of them have prepared very well for the same. Yet, the first boy at the time of presentation gets nervous, goes blank, and his presentation goes for a toss. Whereas the second boy is confident and makes the presentation effectively. Both these boys were in exactly the same situations, but their emotional and behavioral response was different. For both the boys, the activating event was facing the audience. For the first boy, the activating event triggered a belief that I am not capable and not good enough, which led to the feeling of nervousness resulting in poor presentation. For the second boy, the activating event triggered a belief that I am capable and good, which led to the feeling of confidence resulting in effective presentation. Once we understand our behavior through the ABC model, in order to create a positive change in our behavior, we can add a D and a E to the same. D represents disputing irrational beliefs and E represents creating effective new belief. Going back to the earlier example, let us understand the application of D and E for the boy who got nervous. So if we were to dispute the original belief that I am not capable and not good in a way that we could break it along with creating an effective new belief that I am capable and good, the boy would now begin to feel confident, which given the fact that he is well prepared will help him deliver effectively.